Yeah, I get my inspiration from my own potential. Fuck your taste, I know it's hot. I got my own credentials. I'm going crescendo off my own instrumental. So I don't want your beats. I'm in the game, you're in the stands. I don't want your seats. I'm heating up, peep my numbers. Discovered around the world like Columbus. I'm the one that's been determined by my confidence. Always down to politic, like show me what the offer is. But starting to build like who brought Russ into the offices. Accomplishments been stacking kinda nicely as of late. But I'm trying to get this, flying to get this, dying to get this cake. Could've signed and been on tour with your favorite independent. But I'm a boss and the boss respects that. I'll be patient for my entrance, cause the quicker you come in is the quicker that you exit. And the more you fight the process is the less you really let it unfold how it's supposed to.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of SideLine Debates. I'm V and I'll be hosting, joined by two of our co-hosts, Kal and A.B. Kal, what's going on?
How you guys doing today, A.B? You ready for this or what, man?
A.B, what's going on?
V, always a pleasure. Kal, sir, I love sitting opposing to you today. Today, not so much. A little off-camera drama. We ain't gonna get into that, but I just know that I'm ready to go toe-to-toe with you.
Hey, I apologize for that, guys.
Okay, for those who don't know, I'm gonna introduce the topic, and each person has 45 seconds to state their opinion. And when I say your time is up, your time is up.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first topic on hand today is the NBA 2021 dunk contest will be taking place this weekend. Is this going to be the weakest dunk contest ever? And is NBA All-Star Weekend really entertaining anymore? Kal, you're first.
Yeah, this is going to be the weakest dunk contest of all time, in my opinion. Me and A.B. talked about this the other day. He's talking about this guy, Cassius Stanley, in high school. Well, this guy has 0 career NBA dunks. I don't really care about what he did in high school. Might be a little different now because he's not being contested in the game, but this isn't a Michael Jordan dunk contest or that Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon dunk contest we had a few years ago. This is 0 interest to me. The NBA All-Star Game is cool and all too as well. I just kind of wish there was maybe something on the line, like maybe like a home court advantage, maybe, I don't know, something. But I mean, this NBA dunk contest has 0 like interest to me, and I will not be watching it at all.
All right, A.B., what are your thoughts on that?
I completely disagree. I think that Kal forgets that we come from an era of where we saw Fred Jones beat out Jason Richardson in a dunk contest. We saw Dwight Howard high-five a backboard. We saw Nate Robinson jump over Spud Webb, and people were amazed. Cassius Stanley comes from the era of these high school phenoms that are used to like hoops tape and all of these like platforms that put on these high school stars. This is just another open gym to him. Cameras turn on, stars perform. This kid's been doing it since he was 14. It doesn't matter that he hasn't attempted anything in the game. This is basically just an open practice, and he's about to throw it the fuck down. And All-Star Weekend has been kind of falling off these last few years, but the big game is still the big game. 3-point contest, all these different events. It's still something the players look forward to, and as long as that's a thing, something I'm going to continue to look forward to.
You're talking about guys who do in-dunk games that like dunk over people, have awesome moments in NBA games, not guys who have never recorded an NBA dunk before in their life. The hell is that? I don't watch that.
Oh, he performs when the camera's on. That's all this kid's been doing since he was.
Yeah. I was hitting full court shots in the United Center with the camera off. I forgot to tell you guys about that.
Dude, kid's got game, and it's only his second year in the league. We're gonna see what happens.
All
right, guys, time's up. So sticking with the NBA, Utah Jazz stars Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert sound off on referees for calling soft fouls and overreacting on fouls, following Mitchell being ejected for a double tech in their loss versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Are they right or wrong? A.B., what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, this is just where the league is at this point. This is a shooter's league. This is a league that creates space for you no matter where you land at this point. And this is where the game has come to. It makes everybody sick of it, especially if you like older 90s, late 2000s basketball. But this is where it is now. You saw Steph Curry and Dennis Schroeder get into it the other night. Dennis Schroeder landed in his space. Steph Curry actually elbowed him in the face, but Dennis Schroeder caught the foul. It's bullshit, but it is what it is. This is just the game that it is now. You need to adapt to it. And also, Utah has been known for a lot of dirty fouling themselves. I know Joe Ingles always gets a flagrant foul, it seems like. Rudy Gobert, I'm not even going to touch that one. That dude is first on my NBA shit list personally. But honestly, I think that you guys kind of just got to get in where you fit and stop making excuses. You have the best record in the league. You don't need NBA officiating when your team is actually playing well.
Okay. Kal, what do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't disagree more with A.B. here because the NBA is super soft nowadays. You can't even like touch a guy or like look in his direction when you're guarding him. Like these guys want you to guard these guys with your hands tied behind your back, eyes closed, so this little guy over here can score a bucket. The league, that's why there's so many divas in the league. Everybody's so soft. Everybody's flopping nowadays because they know they're gonna get the call. Like it's so soft. You can't even like do anything. You can't even guard these guys. That's why it's so hard to play like defense now, because they don't know what to do. You touch a guy in his arm, you get a flagrant 2, you're kicked out of the game, probably suspended as well. Then you get fined for your post-game interview. It's so soft. That's why these guys are like, don't have that like Mamba mentality you want to say. This is why you got
era where more injuries happen at a more frequent rate and superstars are down for an extended period of time. You have to protect your investment. Otherwise, nobody's going to watch your games. Nobody's going to come to your games. You're not selling merch. You, being a Bulls fan, being a fan of D Rose, should exactly know what that is.
Yeah, well, Derrick Rose should have had a better, healthier diet. Derrick Rose was just didn't care about his off-season workouts. He didn't care about like keeping his body in shape. Look at LeBron, all the stuff he's been through for so many years, age 36, and he's in better shape than anybody else. That's not their fault that they don't care. Look at Tom Brady, 43 years old.
An entire season when his team wasn't in playoff contention anymore.
Okay, look at Tom Brady. He plays the most contact sport in the world. 43 years old, and this guy is fucking eating avocado ice cream.
Have his own set of rules to be protected in the pot.
Come on, stop it, dude. It's because he's great. That's why. I mean, be great, and then maybe you can get these calls, but you're not great. Stop being soft. Be a fucking man. That's why we have divas.
I agree.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Moving on to the next question. Moving over to the National Football League, Tom Brady has been taking social media by storm, enjoying his offseason being active on social media. Is he going back to back, or do Mahomes and Rodgers have something to say about this next season? Kal, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go purchase some avocado ice cream. I got to find out where to get that, because that's what this guy is eating, and he's just like, it's just going through his veins. Like, he probably didn't have blood through his veins. Probably got like oil because he's a fucking robot. Aaron Rodgers has absolutely nothing to say about this, because Brady comes to the NFC for one season in his career after being in the AFC for 20 years. And he has the same amount of NFC championship wins as Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. And you guys been in that league for, 15, 20 years together. He can do whatever the hell he wants on social media. He can post 24/7, 7 days a week, open to close, and I will watch everything, because he is the GOAT. 43 years old. This man is just fucking wired differently. His mindset, his work ethic, his training, keep his body in shape. The only person, player, team right now that poses any sort of threat to Tom Brady is in the AFC when they meet again next year in the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes. Other than that, everybody else, the other 28 quarterbacks, if your name is not Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, please sit down and watch the GOAT go at it, and then possibly the future GOAT. Maybe in the future, we got to see what happens. But for now, Tom Brady can fucking slap me across my face, and I will say thank you, sir.
A.B., what are your thoughts on that?
I would just like to say that Kal says that while he wears a Julio Jones jersey.
Come on, it's the greatest wide receiver ever.
I'm just saying, I had to throw that out there. No, but I hate to agree with Kal. He's absolutely right. It's interesting because Tom Brady's at like a different point in his career. He's never been the guy that's been universally loved. He's been loved by a section and by people who are like devoted sports fans and know what greatness is. But now you're the fun guy. You're getting drunk at the parade. You're throwing trophies over boats. You're doing all types of stuff. Like, this is a dangerous Tom Brady to unlock at this point in his career. He may win 5 more before it's all over with. Aaron Rodgers cannot say shit to him. Aaron Rodgers has as many NFC championships as Rex Grossman.
Sexy Rexy, baby.
Aaron Rodgers needs to get his ass back to a Super Bowl before he worries about Tom Brady specifically. But yeah, man, I mean, Tom Brady's the fucking GOAT. Joe Montana came out and said it's official. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Newsflash, Joe. Nobody was waiting for you to fucking at all. Whatsoever.
All right. Next question. Sticking with the NFL, Russell Wilson offseason drama continues. Has he played his last snap in Seattle? Who gets traded first, him or Watson? Which QB is a better fit for the Bears? A.B., you go first.
I would just like to say that before this whole Russ Wilson, the Bears hype train started, I was the one that said Russell Wilson wasn't going to play for the Seahawks anymore. And a certain co-host was saying there's no way that he leaves Seattle because that's all they have, whatever. All I'm going to say is everything I said is true. Pete Carroll, you're washed up. You guys traded that Super Bowl winning defense away. You guys are only still successful because you have DK Metcalf on a rookie contract, and he's about to break the fucking bank when he gets paid. Tyler Lockett's the only competent football player on that team. Jamal Adams is overrated. Get Russell Wilson the fuck out of here. As much as I hate to say it, he's probably going to go to Chicago. It seems like the best fit for him. Him and Sierra actually really like the city of Chicago. They think that they can be successful there. And obviously, this would be a very big pickup for Chicago and themselves. And Chicago would probably give up one of the key defensive pieces, which could be beneficial for Seattle, who would sort of go into like a rebuilding mode while they look for their new quarterback. But at least they would have a defense to rely their back on. I think this is good business for both people. So, yeah.
All right. Cal, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm pitching Russell. I think he did play his last snap in Seattle. I do think he gets traded before Deshaun Watson because Houston is playing like holding Deshaun Watson as a hostage out there, and they will not let him go. After he said countless times, I am not playing a snap with you guys. I will go get like an Uber license and tell Russell Wilson and Sierra I will drive you guys around the entire city of Chicago for the rest of your career if you just come to Chicago. Take whoever you want. You want Khalil Mack, you want Akeem Hicks, you want Eddie Jackson, you take them. I promise you the Bears front office sucks, but once we realize we have Russell Wilson and Russell Wilson says, I'm only coming if I have certain weapons and a great offensive line, we will get it fixed. I did say he was playing in Seattle. That was before like the drama all started. Like I told you guys earlier, it's us Chicago fans, once we hear one little thing, we get our hopes so high. I want to kind of keep myself in reality a little bit and understand that it's just a little rumor. Things are starting to heat up a little bit. I would love to, and I think it really is the best fit for him in this point of his career to come to Chicago.
I mean, and what better sense does that make because he wants to go somewhere where he's going to be able to call shots in the front office. Bears front office doesn't do anything, so they need somebody to speak up.
And if he comes to Chicago, he's instantly the greatest athlete currently in Chicago, in my opinion.
Awesome, guys. So, next question. Moving toward the MLB with spring training underway, should the MLB bring a limited amount of fans back to the stadiums this season, or is it not too safe yet? Cal, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they should because MLB in terms of like fans actually caring and watching the games. First of all, the games are already like they're considered so long, which they're not statistically, but NBA and NFL, they're just like kind of like stepping over the MLB. So I think the MLB needs to get fans back into the stadium to keep it more interactive because not many people really care about the MLB the way it used to be back in the day, and they need to do it. It's just it has to be done because I feel like the NBA and the NFL are going to have more fans. Look at the Super Bowl, for example. They had fans there, and we didn't get no report, but like there was no COVID-19 incident, so who knows if there was or wasn't. Nothing was reported. And plus, during July when it's 100 degrees outside, I want to go sit inside the bleachers at Wrigley Field and just watch some Cubs baseball. To be honest with you guys.
All right. What do you think, A.B.?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Cal again, but there's nothing better than when you come from like a real baseball town and you go somewhere and like, let's say your team has like a rain delay and they get to play a doubleheader the next day and you get to go to like a 1 p.m. baseball game and then come back for the night game. It's like baseball is America's pastime for a reason. It's still an enjoyable event. And I really don't think that it runs that long. It runs about the same time as an NFL game. And even as much of an NBA game, if like they don't speed it up, it's not like the first primetime game at like 7:30 or some shit. But yeah, I mean, and especially if people want to go to baseball games, look at how much money you lost in the COVID season, all these things. You have to try and make it back somehow. And if you're able to regulate it and do things by COVID protocol, why the fuck not?
It's funny you bring up a rain delay because I remember in the World Series, I think it was 2016 when the Cubs beat the Indians. They had that huge rain delay, and then Jason Hayward had that huge speech. So you just brought up rain delays. I thought I'd just bring up a memorable moment in Chicago for a second. That's all.
Awesome, guys. So moving on to the next question. Moving back to the NBA, according to former NBA player Antoine Walker, him and Michael Jordan once played spades at a restaurant for 36 hours straight. It was around $20,000 to get in. Walker claimed that the game took place around the time that Jordan was announcing his return to the NBA from a stint in minor league baseball. Does this just add to Jordan's GOAT legacy, or is it not that serious? What do you think, A.B.?
I mean, I think Michael Jordan is a degenerate gambler. I think that's literally all it just adds to. I think Antoine Walker said at some point they were down like 900,000. He ended up canceling the press conference, saying that he was returning to the game of basketball. But I mean, it is what it is. This is all Michael Jordan did. It's that competitive nature in him, never knowing when to say no, and even when you're almost $1 million down. It's not like he doesn't have the money. I'm sure, he probably had that in like duffel bags around him at the time. So does it add to his greatness? I'm not sure, but he's very lucky he didn't grow up in the age of social media because so many things are coming out now that we realize was going on at the time. There's no way that he could have been able to outrun or outlive these things. And the fact that he's like 60 and all these things are coming out now works to his benefit because he's like, yeah, it's all 30 years later. What are you guys going to do about it now? Nothing.
Sounds cool. What do you think, Cal?
Yeah, it's funny that you said you thought you maybe had duffel bags laying around because I was reading the article at one point. Antoine Walker said Michael Jordan told his nephew to go get a duffel bag that contained $500,000 in it to gamble more. Yes, he was a degenerate gambler, but why does this make him even greater? Is because this guy was literally in the minor leagues, going back after winning a three-peat in the NBA, went to the minor leagues, going back now to the NBA. Didn't give a fuck about nothing but gambling at the moment because he knew once I get back on that court, I'm just going to literally dominate again, which he did and got a three-peat again. Probably would have won 8 in a row if he didn't have those 2 seasons off. This just goes to show you that Michael Jordan will and always will be the GOAT of all GOATs. And that if it was social media, definitely would have been like, oh my God, what a shitty story, what a horrible role model. But Michael Jordan didn't care about being a role model. He cared about going on the court, destroying the opponent in front of him, adding to his legacy, more rings, more MVPs, just a complete badass. Obviously, it didn't affect him because his shoe brand is the most successful shoe brand in the history of the world. He's a billionaire off of that alone. That's just GOAT talk, literally. That is, you can't stop that man at all.
Wrapping it up for SideLine Debates. Thank you, Kal. Thank you, A.B.
Always a pleasure, guys.
B, thank you very much, Kal. Good shit as always.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials at SideLine Sports Inc. Until next time. See you guys.